Hey everyone.
What's up, guys? We're back. I know we've been missing for a while, but we've been super busy. It's not an excuse. We've just been busy. Flying to Utah, flying to Hawaii, teaching a bunch of my students some financial education, making sure everybody's all good and okay. We've been busy, but we're back.
One thing I'm super grateful for is the fact that we were able to get back home from these trips before the need to stay home actually hit us. So one idea that we came up with to still be able to share these life lessons from life's adventures, because boy are we in the middle of an adventure right now, was to actually reach out to some friends and have them share a lesson that life has taught them for all of you, instead of just hearing from us all the time. And we all need a little bit extra of a pick-me-up, I feel like, during this period right now. So we wanted to find a way where we could pump out as many of these life lessons as we possibly can.
So our first guests that we got to meet up with are Ashley and Lance.
Hi guys, how are you?
We're
Good.
good. How are you guys holding up?
We're doing good. It's an interesting time in life right now, though, isn't it?
Yes, for
It
sure.
very much is.
Now, I understand you guys are foodies, or you guys talk to people with restaurants or something. What's the
Yeah.
looking at?
Yeah. Ashley started the interest of a foodie page. That was, what would you say, like 2 years ago?
I actually started up the foodie page in 2016, and I'm my worst enemy, so I get down on myself a lot, and I stopped, and then last summer I actually started back up, and it was kind of like my own personal hobby, but Lance provides the money and and comes with me, so I wanted to do it with him. So
Yeah, Ashley does
it's
a
been
really good job with it too. We're kind of starting to lean more towards getting to know people behind restaurants.
Yeah. So Alana was
Sounds
saying,
really cool.
And Ashley came up with the whole idea, and I just kind of fell in love with it. So it's something we're kind of passionate about. I mean, we're passionate about food, obviously. So that's the bonus part of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way cool.
Yeah, when we were in Utah, we were talking to the owners of Munchies, and just talking to them, we're like, dude, too bad people don't know the stories behind some of these owners.
Right.
They'd support these places way more
yeah,
if they knew some of the cool things that they do.
Yeah, I agree. That's why we want to do that, because that's our favorite part, is getting to know the people behind the food.
Yep.
And that's why we really want to share the stories of people. I feel like people can relate more. Like, it's nice seeing the food in the picture, of course, but it's nice seeing like who made it and why it came
yep,
about and stuff.
totally agree.
Those people are so awesome, Ashley and Lance. And the lesson that they share is so critical for us to learn during this time.
We have a long story.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess in order to share the lesson, we kind of have to share our story a little bit. So we met at Snow originally, and then we ended up moving down to Orem. And when we were living in Orem,
After we got married.
after we got married, and when we were living in Orem, we're at a point where we were doing well financially, and we both had good jobs, and we were going to school. But I felt like there wasn't like a real big focus on our personal growth as individuals. And we kind of just got a little bit comfortable. We were doing all the things we needed to be doing, but I feel like we just got a little bit comfortable. And this was back in what,
2018,
18?
2017.
Yeah.
So about 3 years ago.
Yeah, about 2-3 years ago. And then Ashley had a big prayer with and just kind of we decided to like finally start our family. And that's when I feel like Heavenly Father kind of threw us a little bit of a curveball to kind of finally start trying to grow as individuals. And I'll kind of leave that with Ashley to kind of share what happened during that.
Yeah, so we were doing, I felt like we were doing pretty well. We were happy and everything, but there was something missing, and I felt like we should start our family. And so we tried, and we got this little guy. I got pregnant And right when I got pregnant, about 6 weeks, I got super, super sick. And it was to the point where I couldn't keep water down even. I was throwing up about 20 times a day. And about 9 weeks, I quit my job because of how bad it was. And I went into the hospital, and I was hospitalized for about 2 weeks. And I had a feeding tube and everything. And it was really hard for us to stay in our townhome that we were living in. And so we decided to move to Bountiful. And that's where my family lives. So we moved into with my family. And it was really hard for us. And I feel like ever since then, we've been on a roller coaster ride. And it's been just ups and downs. And just recently as well, about right before all of this happened, a month ago, we actually had, we were thinking of having another kid. And we got pregnant actually in January. And then about a month ago, we actually had a miscarriage. And this was actually right before all of this quarantine was happening. So we had no idea this was going to happen. But we were actually planning for me to get sick again, because the doctor said 80% chance that I would have it be sick again. So we were so stressed, and we were actually planning on my family watching the baby, like watching Zion during this time, because I would be sick. And thinking about it now, if I was still pregnant during this time, it would be a struggle for us, because we wouldn't be able to see my family. Well, we would, but like it's kind of hard with the quarantine. We wouldn't actually like get that time all the time, and okay. And so yeah, it's just been really hard. But just thinking about that trial, we feel that Heavenly Father brings us trials, but trials can be blessings in disguise, because if I was pregnant, that would definitely be hard right now. Sorry, we're putting him in his chair.
He's all over the place.
So yeah, so from that life lesson, in our life, we learned that trials bring blessings in disguise. Sometimes we'll always have trials in our life, but they'll definitely bring blessings.
And I think also, like, if you have that awareness and you're kind of trying to work on yourself and you look back at things, you can kind of see Heavenly Father's hand in your life. And in those trials, it was hard to have the miscarriage. It was rough for us, but at the same time, like Ashley said, if she would have been that sick during the quarantine, who would have known what would have happened with her health and, being pregnant. And then on top of that, it was called hyperemesis gravidarum. She lost like 50 pounds and stuff like that. So it would have been really rough. So we were kind of just looking at Heavenly Father's hand in our life. And I think the main thing that we learned was Heavenly Father has a plan for you, but He will never let you get too comfortable. If you're in a situation where you're not really trying to grow as an individual, He's going to throw that curveball at you. So that's kind of been the past 2 years for us, is just learning, like, okay, let's not get too comfortable and let's try to grow. What areas can we grow as individuals? And it's been a blessing in disguise for us.
Yeah, because even in our townhome before we had Zion, we had a bigger kitchen, and I never cooked. Mm-hmm. And I loved cooking, so I don't know why I didn't. And now that we have like a little smaller area that we're living in, I cook all the time, and it's just like things that you have, just be grateful for it. Kind of, that's what we're realizing, is like curveballs are gonna come, and just everything that comes your way, just be grateful for it, and
never get comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a great journey though. We've enjoyed everything up to this point, and we look forward to our future going together. And we know with the things that we've learned over the year, it's going to prepare us for the rest of our life. So we're excited about it.
Yeah. And if I was pregnant still and I got coronavirus, you never know what would have happened.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. I like how you're saying though, you have to like look for those blessings. You actually have to look for them
Mhm.
so easy to just get overwhelmed and think they're not there. But once you actually start looking for them, you start realizing, like you said, that his hand is in everything.
You know, what I also got from what you guys were sharing, that curveball that came, or that was thrown. I mean, you guys had to actually be patient because, and to actually to see some of the blessings, you had to be patient because the miscarriage happened, then coronavirus happened, and so then you think back, oh, what would have happened, if this happened during coronavirus or whatnot, and sometimes you have to wait for that curveball to come all the way to the batting plate, and you get to see just more blessings. But yeah, you said you got to be aware and look for those. I think it's really neat because sometimes you do some. I'm not a very patient person. I'm working on that for sure. Sometimes when I'm looking for the blessings during a trial, I don't see them right away, and sometimes I have to wait. And that's just part of my growth. Is you don't have to wait a month or 2 years, maybe, I don't know, whatever it is, Sione. That's really cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, I just shared this. I think it's gonna go live tomorrow, but I did a guest video for another page, and in it I tell this story. So I'll just share the story with you guys, but because we'll probably end up using this for a podcast later. We'll just take the audio from the parts that we like and we'll share it on our podcast. But when we were in Utah about 4 summers ago, we were visiting his sister, and she was like, let's go on a hike. Let's go check out the hot springs. And so we went to go check out the hot springs, and it was all fun and good. And our nephew, who's 4, was like acting like a velociraptor, and we were laughing. And I want to say like 100 or so yards from getting to the actual springs itself, these hikers come by and they're like, hey, just be aware, there's snakes. And we're like, what? And okay, Hawaii, right? We weren't thinking about snakes. We were like, wait, no. And so from that moment on, our eyes were like wide open, and we were constantly on the lookout for snakes. And we saw one before we even got to the springs. Then we get to the springs itself.
Not venomous,
And they were not venomous.
but we don't care. They're snakes.
Yeah, of course. I'm scared of snakes too.
We get to the springs itself, and we tried to like enjoy ourselves, and we saw 3 more snakes, and it was kind of like let's just go. I don't know if we want to constantly be like, oh no, snakes, right?
Yeah.
And then so the way back, and we didn't see any snakes until those last 100 or so yards, and I think it was like a 4 or 6 mile round trip hike. So the way back we saw 4 more, and so we sat in the car. We're like, where the heck did all these snakes come from? And it was just because we started looking for them. We kept our eyes open for them. And it's the same way with the blessings and those tender mercies and the Lord's hand in our life. The moment we start looking for it, we realize it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I journal at the end of every day at least one tender mercy, or at least one way that I saw the Lord's hand in my life. And it is just like you were saying, it's amazing to see how much He's really there.
This right here is this is the first time we've done this.
Yeah, thanks for being our guinea pigs.
playing a game. But blessing, like I can tell you right now, just going over this with you guys, hearing your guys' life lesson, is really uplifting for me today. This is my day off, but like we're in quarantine, right? Like everybody's in quarantine, so this is just kind of cool that like get to hear you guys share your life lesson.
Yeah.
Oh, we appreciate you guys
We appreciate
putting
so
up
much.
the opportunity. Like it really is. It's hard to connect with people right now because of it. So the fact that you guys are putting this platform up for people to share and still connect, I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing. Because hearing your story with the snakes is the whole time you were saying that I was getting thoughts into my head more. It kind of put things in a deeper perspective. It made me think of this post that I saw the other day. It was this guy. It was just a picture of this guy walking down the street, and you could tell he was coming home from work. And as he was coming home from work, he couldn't see around him, and it's obviously because the veil was there. You couldn't see the things that were going on, but there's angels fighting these demons that were kind of surrounding him. And the whole time that you were talking about that was making me think. So the fact that you guys are doing this platform, it's really bringing good insight to us and other people. So we really like that you guys are doing this.
Oh yeah.
It made me think of that story.
You guys are doing such a great job. I love that you guys share life lessons because it honestly helps people like through what they're going through. And so you guys are, I love your guys' content. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you.
We could have easily ended our entire video right there with that lesson, but we wanted to have some fun. And so we asked Ashley and Lance if they wouldn't mind playing a little game that we made up with us. And let's just say it was a lot harder to figure out how to make up a game that could be recorded and have the experience still shared with all of you. This was our first attempt, but here's how it went.
Oh, okay.
Let's actually try to see if we can just focus on the words more than the conversation. You ready? Okay, so what was your favorite food?
Let's see.
Sorry,
Find the word.
Okay.
Okay.
We got kid right now.
Yeah.
What was your favorite food as a kid?
Oh.
Favorite food as a kid. Chinese food. Chinese takeout.
I just love everything.
Chinese takeout.
Coco Sama.
What was the easiest meal you could cook as a kid?
Mac and cheese.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Utah. Been in Utah since 2006.
Utah. I lived here my whole life.
Quarantine stinks.
You ordered chicken katsu?
Just had it last night.
Get while you're in quarantine?
Wait, what? Yeah, what do you get? Do you get chicken katsu from?
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Chicken katsu with cherry sauce.
Oh, Korean barbecue. So good.
Oh, Korean barbecue.
We love Korean barbecue.
I like the beef tips.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, we're gonna get hungry after this. You're just gonna end up eating. Oh, that was the word.
Okay, there. Like,
Hungry.
yeah,
We're gonna hungry.
Oh, good. We're up.
Oh, we're hungry right now.
Yeah, always hungry. Hawaii, a place we always want to go.
Yes.
Still haven't been yet.
Hawaii, I've been when I was 1 year old.
We
Oh.
want to eat katsu from Hawaii.
Lava cake.
Lava
is
cake.
So good.
From Hawaii.
Does anybody make guava cake up there, or any other kind of good Hawaii snacks?
Munchies makes guava.
I want to learn how to make guava cake.
Ashley's
Oh,
gonna
I
try
have
to
a recipe. I can send it to you.
Please do.
Oh, do
yes,
it.
please do.
buffet.
Oh.
King Buffet. King's Buffet
Tucker
here in
Mama.
Utah.
Guava cake you talked about?
Yeah, we already talked
Okay,
about
guava cake. Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
blog, actually, what's going on with your website?
Our blog is gonna probably launch next week.
Yeah, a week from now.
We're so excited. Mochi. Oh, I love mochi on frozen yogurt.
Is the best.
Ooh.
Yogurtland mochi.
A lot of people go there.
They're pretty.
I feel like a lot of people go, but it's not like as popular.
It's not as a local. It's
yeah,
more of a
chain.
Yeah. Breakfast. We just had the fluffiest pancakes. Thanks.
Oh man, she's making me
Oh.
hungry. This thing has so much food.
That's just our life. I just made 3.
That's right. That's right.
Delivery. We actually don't do deliveries very much to our house.
I used to do DoorDash though, so I used to deliver food all the time.
Yeah. Barbecue, so yummy. He's the best at barbecue.
Are you a barbecue grill master?
I really want to get a what is it called, a Krager?
Krager.
Smoky
Yeah.
ones.
Is that your favorite grill?
Yeah, that's my dream grill. Just because you can Traeger. Sorry, not Krager. Traeger. The Traegers are really good.
Takeout. Oh yes, takeout is awesome. Easy
That's
peasy.
what a lot of people are getting right now.
Yep, a lot of takeout. Fried chicken. Dessert is my favorite. I love sweets.
We tend to eat dessert before we eat dinner sometimes.
Oh, hey.
Dude, we're related. I tell Alana that when you go to dinners and stuff, the dessert line is always the lowest line. So you start there first.
Start there first. Knew it, cousin.
Ice cream is so good. I love ice cream.
Favorite ice cream.
Strawberry and cookie dough.
I'm gonna have to say
Winners. Win us.
We did. We just win. We win.
Oh, we win. We're winning.
Oh.
Oh, we're winning.
Oh, did we win? Woohoo! Let's go.
Win us, Daddy.
to spare.
1 minute to spare.
Nice. Killed that one.
Oh, now for real, I'm hungry now.
Thank you guys. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was a good time, guys. It was so good to meet you guys.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
definitely
have to go
you guys
get lunch or
next
something
time.
when you're in Utah.
Yeah, come out soon. It'll be
After the coronavirus.
yeah, our treat. We'll treat you guys out next time you guys come.
Aren't they awesome? That was Ashley and Lance. Be sure to check out their website. I will link that in the details below. And we're gonna get better at the games, I promise.
Yes, stay tuned for more because we have more guests, more lessons, and more games.
As we stay home together. Peace out.